to let it level you up. Does that sound familiar? Does that sound familiar? Let's hear it one more time. That's right. That was my theme song from another time. But you know what? That we up is mine. And we're going to bring up our Level Us Up guest for today. Registered dietitian and nutritionist, Nada Mays, MSRD, LDN, Ravenclaw.
I'm actually Slytherin.
Are you?
Yeah, interesting, right?
Not Hufflepuff?
No, they got put in Slytherin.
I think Nor would be Hufflepuff.
Nor?
Yeah.
Yeah, Nor would be a Hufflepuff. That's true.
He's a vet.
Yeah.
I feel like all veterinarians are Hufflepuff, except for the ones that are in it for the capitalism. Well, today we have brought on registered dietitian nutritionist Nada Mays to talk to us about what are like the best foods for stocking up. You know, when we talk about everybody needs to hunker down and stock up, I feel like in my mind, I'm like, does that mean get rice and beans? Like, is that it? But I don't know. And so I know that you have done a segment like this related to Palestinians stocking up. And I'm sure it's not that far different for us here in the States in terms of what we need to stock up on.
Yeah, I mean, nutritionally, we're looking at the same goals. When I did that, it was my suggestions for food to add to aid for Gaza. So it was like there were some cultural foods that wouldn't really translate for most people in the States. But nutritionally, we have the same goal. And I think one thing that I've seen people who aren't nutrition professionals, when they're talking about what people are getting for food and aid and criticizing, their criticism is misplaced because they're talking about their diet on an everyday basis, which a lot of times for us in America is focused on weight management. Like, you know, we want to keep our weight low. Throw that out when we're talking about survival.
Right.
So they're like, yeah, I'm like, this criticism isn't really fitting. So I did put together a short list. Rice and beans is on the list though. So we want to build on what we already have.
Okay.
Another food I'd suggest is powdered eggs.
Powdered eggs.
So they're shelf stable, they're dry, they're easy to carry. Eggs are really a great source of nutrition, great source of protein, fats, vitamins, and minerals. Another one is powdered milk. We're looking at high calorie, high nutrient foods. So high calories, high vitamins, high minerals, not empty calories, which would be something you get from candy, right? High calories, but no vitamins, minerals, nutrients.
Got
it. Dried fruits, we love them. Once again, shelf stable. They're portable because you need to think about, we're learning so much unfortunately, from what's happening in Gaza and these multiple genocides, Congo, Sudan. Being able to move your food storage is something I'm keeping in mind. Dates. I'm Middle Eastern, I'm Palestinian, like dates it's our survival. So it's a great food to think about storing, really high in electrolytes, also great source of energy and really portable, shelf stable. Dried vegetables as well, if you can find them. Nuts, another high calorie, nutrient dense food. Nut butters, animal bones, right? So if you go and look at any cultural food in the world, there are, a lot of times if you're butchering an animal, you'll take the big bones and crack them and eat the bone marrow in the middle. And that's because it's a great source of really hard to find vitamins and minerals, as well as fat. So it's calorie dense once again. And when you're in survival mode, a little bit can go a long way, especially if you've, run out of things and that's all you have left. So where
do you get animal bones?
I mean, if you're hunting, you're gonna right? I'm thinking like if there's no
If there's really nothing out
what
there.
yeah,
Okay. All right.
what level of emergency are we on?
Okay.
And if we're not hunting, let's say you have chicken, right? You're going to boil the chicken bones you have to make a broth, and then you can use that broth in things like rice or making your pasta to raise the nutrients in that food as well. So we're just trying to reduce the waste of nutrients.
Okay.
Right. And then there are some interesting tricks that we can do. So if you are able to get modernly processed rice, don't rinse your rice because rice is fortified. So that means they add vitamins and minerals to the rice. And when you wash the rice, the starch is released as well as those vitamins and minerals. Now, as a culinary, I was a chef for 10 years. I have 3 culinary degrees. I'm rinsing my rice because I love that. I love that fluffiness of the rice. I love that texture when the rice is rinsed. But if I was in survival mode, I'm switching my priorities. I'm not rinsing my rice. Sorry, my baby is playing with the mouse.
Hi, Aaliyah.
All right, mama, shway. I'm not going to rinse my rice because I want to keep those vitamins and minerals in the rice to feed my family and feed myself. And then we can also look at fortifying food. So if you have bread and or if you have flour and you're going to make bread, you can add things like the dried milk powder. You can add eggs to make your breads more nutrient dense and to, take your nutrition a little bit further with every bite. So once again, looking at nutrient dense foods. So maybe less volume, but maximum calories and nutrition per bite.
So, it's like all of these are pretty easy to find, but I would have never thought of the dried fruit, but that makes perfect sense. Like, because I'm thinking I'm just going to have to do without fruit, but no,
you have it. Yeah.
You can have it. And then, where do you get powdered eggs?
You have to order it. A lot of food service places get them and you're like, why are the eggs weird? It's because they're powdered.
Because they're powdered. That's right.
Yeah. But, you can order them. I mean, I don't want to list the places because I'm not supporting any of these companies. But if you need to survive, sometimes we got to adjust the priorities. And then another thing I want to talk about is gardening. Guys, this is the perfect time right now. This is the time. Oh, okay, I'm going to open this.
Open this. Open it.
This is the perfect time for us to test out our gardening skills. You don't need to be an expert overnight, but try something. If you have a little pot in your house, can you grow a tomato plant? Do you have, I live in Philly and I saw one guy off the highway, didn't even have like a rooftop setup or anything, but still was planting things on his roof. So try, this is a great time. Experiment and develop those skills. So if we are in this state of need, you have some gardening skills to produce some extra food that way as well. Even in the city, a little garden bed can produce a lot more food than you think with composting and things like that.
I'm going to try. Someone here Nia says radishes are a great beginner veggie. Is there any nutrients in radishes? I feel like they're all water.
I mean, they're water, fiber, but there is always going to be some vitamins and minerals in all vegetables and fruit.
Now, are there any don't do's?
I would say throw out the current, the weight management diet and fad diets. If you want to
I mean particular foods. So I will tell you a story.
Yes.
Hurricane approaching. My mother is like, well, I'm going to go to a hotel. And I'm like, what did you get food-wise? And she's like, oh, my God. I brought yogurt and tuna fish. I said, so just so I'm clear, you don't know how long you're going to be gone for. And you brought yogurt and tuna fish? And she said, yes. And I was like, but that's going to spoil. What if there's no power and you can't put the yogurt in the fridge? And she was just like, well, that's what I want. Fair. But I suggested okay, maybe that's what you want, but you could also, in addition to that, maybe have some backup. What are some things, I know it may seem pedantic or rudimentary, but what are some things that people should stay away from bringing with or considering stock up things? stock up foods?
Cereals, those high sugar cereals, really sneaky. Like Honey Nut Cheerios, people don't realize has 24% of your recommended daily added sugar in 1 8-ounce cup. And no one's eating 1 cup of Honey Nut Cheerios at a time. We're usually eating 2.5.
Yeah.
So those are going to mess up your day. They're going to be high in calories, and they're not going to be, it does have some nutrients, but you can do better things than the cereal. So leave them. I remember back in a long time ago when I lived in LA, someone brought cereal to their, what do they have? Earthquake kit. And the teacher was like, no, this is not. Yeah. Refrigerated foods, if you don't have an option and you need to bring them or you have them, eat them first, right?
Yeah.
But maybe not the best to stock up on. And candy, I would say things like that. Those are going to negatively impact your health. They're not really going to add a lot to your overall nutrition.
What about salted meats?
Yeah, salted meats can be really helpful. And learning to salt and dry meat can also be, if you're looking at long-term survival needs, can really put you, set
Is
you up for that
jerky
one.
considered salted meat?
Yeah, jerky. Sausages, you just want to be careful with them. The dry ones are great. I would stay away from the sausages. And some of the sausage now is nitrate free, which is better for our health in the current situation. But there's no preservation in those meats. So they go bad really quickly and can cause foodborne illness really quickly.
Okay. I feel like there's just a lot of kind of like when it comes to the thought process around war and, stocking up, etc. A lot of people feel like it's extremes, but what you've really laid out is a lot of practical things, y'all. These are practical. I mean, aside from, so powdered milk is you use water to make it.
Mm-hmm.
Any other beverage things that we should be thinking of?
I mean, we're going to need water.
This one.
Yeah, right. And so learning how to boil your water and filter it if needed, if there's like, if you're in a place where the water doesn't run clear, if you don't have a capacity to boil your water, you might need to bring some bleach drops or iodine drops to clean your water. I was in Peace Corps for 2 years. It tasted nasty, but if you wait a couple of days, the chlorine actually evaporates and the water will taste better with time and still be clean. But yeah, that needs to happen because you don't want to get a waterborne illness that will take you out.
That will take you out.
Diarrhea, the really, really strong killer, number one killer of children worldwide. And it's usually in situations like this where there's instability.
Well, there you have it, y'all. Don't get the runs. Get clear. Thank you so much. I feel there's a certain balance that I'm trying to have between kind of like catastrophizing, but also preparedness, right? And sometimes, y'all, it's not about being paranoid. It's just about being prepared. Have the information, whether you choose to use it right now and, be in your bunker. That's that's on you. However, this goes along with also learning how to use weapons, which I also strongly suggest, as well as self-defense skills in general. I just really feel like, if you got stairs in your house, run your stairs. Get your stamina up. I'm gonna tell you now. If it came down, Nada, I can't run. All right, I can sprint short distances. So I better learn how to hand-to-hand combat. Okay.
Listen, but you'll be the one doing the flips and things like that. They don't even know what's coming. There's one more thing I did want to add to the list: the electrolytes. Which, speaking of diarrhea, right?
Yes,
it can happen in these situations. If you can get rehydration salts, ORS, whether Gatorade powder, liquid IV, if you want to be fancy, get those. Shelf stable. You can also learn how to make them as well, but those can be really helpful if you get any sickness, which can be kind of common in these situations.
Okay. And what did it say one more time for me? What are they called?
Electrolytes. So
you said you can get tablets or something?
Oh, you can get their ORS is the rehydration salts. That's the generic name. They taste the worst, but they are effective. And then you can get the fancy ones, which are like liquid IV or the Gatorade, which is branded.
Okay, y'all. Well, thank you so much. Where can people learn more about the work you do and get involved with a dietitian, nutritionist?
Yeah, well, Meta is giving me a hard time, which I think is common in these parts.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, I would say to my followers, you can follow me on Nutrition by Nada. I am on all social media, but I'm moving to YouTube, I expect in the future. So you want to follow my Nutrition by Nada YouTube page. There's nothing there yet, but that's where I think my focus is going to be. Nutritionbynada.com is coming up. You can also email me at it's at netta@nutritionbynetta.com. What is my new email? Email me at nutritionbynetta@gmail.com.
gmail.com, right?
I have a new one that is like Nutrition by Netta. It's fine. Just email me at nutritionbynetta@gmail.com. Let's keep it simple.
Okay.
Some new things coming up.
And just for visibility purposes, tell people why having dietitian, nutritionist support can be helpful to them.
Yeah, you want to make sure you have a registered dietitian, to be honest, because some people call themselves nutritionists and might not have the right qualifications you're looking for medical nutrition therapy or some of these more specific needs. There's so much misinformation out there, and having the wrong information for the wrong issue can lead to death and can lead to really severe sickness and hospitalization. So we want to make sure that doesn't happen, but also why not do it when you're healthy and when you're well, so that you can live the longest life possible and not have to be hospitalized or live in a facility and prevent all of these health concerns. We're always talking about Black health and, health for people of color. Mm-hmm. Let's move into prevention. Let's make it so we're the healthiest people in spite of the systemic racism and those effects on our health and things like that.
All right. You heard that. Let's be proactive, not reactive. Thank you so much, Nada. Y'all stock up.
Thank you.
Y'all need to. I enjoyed laughing and learning with you. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And tell your friends. Also, listen to the podcast. It's available everywhere pods are casted. Listen ad-free by subscribing to Patreon Amanda Seals. Come on and join the Seals Squad. Views from Amandaland, live 10 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Wednesday, with content on Thursday and Friday at YouTube Amanda Seals TV.